good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a what I eat in a day video, but I'm going to be talking to you about and I guess showing you my experiment that I've been doing with targeted carbs and weight training. So yeah, for the last few weeks, I have been experimenting with implementing some strategic carbs into my diet around my workouts. This strategy is also known as the targeted ketogenic diet. Okay, but let's pause a second because if you're new to my channel, I'll just give you a little bit of background info. I've been eating a keto diet for several years. A bit over 2 years ago, I started experimenting with the carnivore diet. I ate a strict carnivore diet for 5 or 6 weeks. And then since then, I have eaten mainly carnivore, but a little bit of keto sprinkled in. So I like to say it is animal-based or meat-based keto. Basically, it is focused around meat, eggs, fish, animal foods. And then I do include a few keto-friendly plants that serve me well and that don't cause me to have negative symptoms. Now, the reason I avoid carbs for the most part is because they are so easy for me to overconsume. I am a former carbohydrate addict. I can eat endless amounts of bread, of cereal, of pasta. These foods are dangerous for me. So while some people think that the keto diet and the carnivore diet are too restrictive, I find that they are actually really freeing for me. They free me from the cycle of carb dependency, from always thinking about food, from over-consuming high-carb foods. I don't have the cravings and the urges to eat keto and carnivore foods in such large amounts as I do with foods that are high in carbs. So my original reason for trying the keto diet was at the time I was doing a lot of cycling, a lot of endurance exercise. I was eating a high carb, generally what is considered healthy. Like I would have oatmeal before my rides. I would bring a banana. I would have those little gel packets that are aimed at cyclists and endurance athletes. And yeah, I was going on these long bike rides and I was having to stop to eat like every hour and a half, or else like my energy would just completely tank. So when I heard about keto and I heard that you could have consistent energy without having to eat every couple of hours, that just sounded too good to be true. And yeah, that was my original reason for going keto. But the last couple of years, I have cut way back on my cycling. I was overdoing it for a long time. And I think that is one of the things that led to me losing my period and experiencing amenorrhea for 2 years. So since that happened, I cut way back on my cardio and I focused more on like strength training and just really prioritizing recovery. But anyways, that is not what today is about. Today is about using carbohydrates to fuel your workouts. Because while I do think that low carb ketogenic diets are especially beneficial and even optimal for endurance athletes, there are other types of exercise where carbs are a better energy source. So there have been times over the last couple of years where I have experimented with targeting carbs around my exercise, but I haven't really stuck to it for too long. So I thought I would give it a really good go for 1 month and then share my experience. The basic idea behind the targeted ketogenic diet is that carbs are a quicker energy source, and if you consume them before working out, you can obtain the benefits of quick energy. But because you're only consuming them before exercise, you can still reap the benefits of a low-carb diet for the rest of the day. Anyways, I will talk to you more about this as we go through the video, but yeah, let's get into it. So I want to make it really clear who I think should try a targeted keto diet and who I think should not. If you have weight loss goals, if you are insulin resistant, you're going to get a lot more benefits from eating less carbs. And that's just the truth. Now, I always get a little bit of pushback anytime I recommend eating less carbs in a broad sense. Someone will say, well, I'm an athlete, I work out, I need carbs pre-workout. And my response to that is not 99% of the population. Most of the population is overweight, is obese, has metabolic syndrome, is diabetic or pre-diabetic, is insulin resistant. And all of these groups of people can benefit more from eating less carbs. But can carbs be used strategically if you are doing intense exercise? Yes, absolutely. If you are an athlete and burning a lot of calories, if you are metabolically healthy, you can use carbs as a tool if you choose. Because the thing with carbs is they are a fast but short-lived energy source. So for most people day to day, this isn't a good thing, but in the context of working out and doing intense exercise, this can be a good thing. So for any exercise that is anaerobic, that is high intensity for short bursts, then glucose is actually a better fuel source. But for anything that is more of like an endurance sport or endurance exercise, walking, jogging, cycling, fat is a better energy source. Anyways, so depending on what time I go to the gym, I will either have my Bulletproof coffee first thing in the morning or maybe after my workout. And by the way, I am on decaf now. I haven't had actual coffee. By actual coffee, I mean, just regular coffee for how long now? Probably almost 2 months. But yeah, I had my coffee this morning. It is almost midday now. I'm going to have my maple syrup and then I'm gonna head to the gym. So the type of carbs you have before exercise makes a big difference. Ideally, you want to be having pure glucose because this is the easiest for your body to absorb and use. But unless you are taking some sort of glucose supplement, it's pretty much impossible to get pure glucose from whole food sources. Even table sugar is made up of glucose and fructose. So a lot of people who are in the carnivore diet community who do use strategic carbs, they tend to favor honey, and I think this is mainly just because it is pretty much the only animal-based glucose source. Now, please do not comment telling me that honey isn't carnivore or whatnot. That is just besides the point. I agree that most people will do better without including honey or without including any carbs in their carnivore diet. But for people who do want to include a carb source, honey isn't a bad option. And I'm not even going to get started on whether it's actually an animal product or not. But I actually think that maple syrup is a better option if you are trying to use carbs to fuel your workouts. Honey is mainly fructose and then glucose and sucrose, whereas maple syrup is about 2/3 sucrose. So neither of these is technically the best. As I said before, you would do better off consuming pure glucose because sucrose has to be broken down into glucose and fructose before it can be used. And fructose has to be converted by the liver to glucose before it can be used. But in my opinion, out of the two, honey and maple syrup is probably the better option and the one I have been favoring. Okay, so for the first meal today, I'm going to fry up some eggs, hopefully get a double yolker. I'm going to fry up some halloumi, fry that in ghee. I have some mushrooms as well, and then I have some salt. This is actually, it's in a real salt container, but it's salt from 𝗖𝗟𝗜𝗖𝗏. So now I want to talk about the results of this experiment. Do I actually feel any better either during or after my workouts consuming targeted carbs? So the first few times I went to the gym after consuming carbs pre-workout, I didn't really notice too much of a difference. I was doing just strength training and yeah, I kind of expected to have this superhuman, superpower, super strength. And that didn't really happen. Now, when I did stop consuming the carbs for a couple of workouts, I did feel a little bit flat. Now, whether or not that was placebo or not, that's up in the air. I will say that when I was doing HIIT workouts, so high intensity interval training, I did feel like I had a bit of extra energy, like I could push a little bit further. So in conclusion, I didn't see too much benefit from implementing targeted carbs. Will I continue doing it going forward? Like I said, the only time I really noticed a difference was when I was doing my HIIT training. So I think I will continue to use it in that situation. But for my regular strength training, I usually work out fasted and I work out in the morning and feel just as good as when I use targeted carbs, so I don't think I will continue using them for my strength sessions. At the end of the day, you need to experiment and figure out what works for you. Try working out with carbs. Try working out without carbs. How do you feel? So something I've been trying to do every day to help improve my sleep is I've been going for a walk outside right at sunset. And what that's supposed to do is just before the sun sets, there is a huge spike in blue light. And if you're not too familiar with what blue light is, it is one of the key things that syncs our circadian rhythm. When we're exposed to a lot of blue light throughout the day, our cortisol rises, melatonin is suppressed, we have energy, we're alert. But on the flip side, when there's no blue light in the evenings, well, no natural blue light comes from the sun, this is when cortisol decreases and melatonin rises, and that's what helps you sleep. But if you're exposed to too much blue light in the evening after sunset, then this is when you can have trouble sleeping, falling asleep, staying asleep, having good quality sleep, which is why blue light blocking glasses are really good to wear in the evenings because they block 100% of blue light and help you sleep. But anyways, right at sunset, there is a huge spike in blue light, and this is supposed to be, I guess, another indicator to your body that the sun is setting and that it is just about time to go to bed, or at least time to wind down. And I was a little skeptical about this at first, but honestly, go for a walk outside at sunset, get home, put your blue light blocking glasses on and wear them until bed. You will sleep like a baby. I slept so well last night. Oh, where did I just put my phone? I'll show you my sleep. That is my sleep score and my readiness score. And these scores are out of 100. This is from my Oura Ring. And yeah, I've been sleeping really, really well doing this. So I'm gonna do it again tonight. The sun's gonna set in about 30 minutes. So I'll go for my walk, then I will put my glasses on, and then, yeah, just gonna have a chill evening, maybe watch some TV, maybe read, go to bed, and then do it all again tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching and spending the day with me. I love filming these types of videos. It's such a strange feeling. It feels like I'm hanging out with someone, like I'm talking to someone, but in reality, I'm just talking to my camera. So it's a little bit weird, and I don't know if it's entirely healthy, but yeah, if you want to watch more What I Eat in a Day videos, you can find my What I Eat in a Day playlist right here. If you want to catch up on my most recent upload, it will be right here. And if you want to check out my keto and carnivore diet coaching programs, I will link them below as well. Thanks guys, see you next time.